billed as centre parks for adrenaline junkies. The marketing videos make it look like the Afan Valley Adventure Resort in South Wales is up and running. But the £200 million development has yet to be built. However, it does have a celebrity endorsement.
Check out our latest Bear Grylls Survival Academy and our Centre of Excellence at the Afan Valley Adventure Resort.
Bear Grylls is backing the project, so too is the Welsh Government.
It's going to be fantastic, it really is.
The resort is forecast to create 1,000 jobs, if it's ever built. Meet Gavin Woodhouse, chairman and owner of Northern Powerhouse Development, the company behind the Afan Valley project.
And one day somebody said, put up or shut up. And I sort of thought, well, I better put my money where my mouth is.
Gavin Woodhouse presents himself as a successful entrepreneur with an appetite for adventure. From skydiving to swimming with whale sharks in Mexico. He claims to be a man who delivers, but as we found out, he isn't. 6 years ago, Gavin Woodhouse raised £16 million from amateur investors to build 4 care homes. All 4 were supposed to be operational by now, but none of them are. Smithy Bridge near Rochdale has been built, but never opened. The Hawthorne Care Village remains a disused school in Burnley. The Walsden Care Village is still a timber yard in Calderdale. And at the Clifton Moor site in Greater Manchester, there are wildflowers where a care home should be.
I'm really upset and angry.
Vijay Devados invested in Clifton Moor. 5 years ago, the retired NHS surgeon and his wife paid £450,000 to Mr Woodhouse for 9 rooms in this development. What should be here?
I was expecting a nursing home with approximately 70 beds, so I'm really shocked to see that nothing has happened.
Mr Devados was expecting a first payment of £78,000 from Mr Woodhouse this month, but he didn't get it. How did you feel when it didn't arrive?
Awful, and that's our real lifetime savings and pension for us. And because of this, both of us have to now rethink our plan and carry on working.
The care home projects are incomplete, but according to the latest accounts, none of the companies Mr Woodhouse set up to build them have any cash left in them. Millions of pounds appear to have been moved from the care homes to another of Mr Woodhouse's businesses, MBI Consulting. MBI collapsed into administration last summer with less than £1,000 in the bank and owing almost £18 million to creditors, including the 4 care home projects. The administrator's report states that Mr Woodhouse borrowed around £1.2 million from MBI, which he hasn't repaid. We asked the managing partner of a large accountancy firm to examine MBI's accounts. He believes that money has disappeared.
There are up to £15 million of unaccounted for funds that apparently were at some point transacted through this company and which were not there when it went into administration. Clearly the question is, what happened to all that money? Where did it go? Why is it no longer there?
Gavin Woodhouse lives the lifestyle of a successful businessman.
Skiing is massive, part of our lives. We're at Mallorca, and it's just, it's a very easy destination to get to. We love Florida.
And it's not just the holidays. Mr Woodhouse bought a Grade 1 listed mansion in 2016 and has a collection of expensive cars. But his company is now struggling to pay his care home investors the returns he promised them. We have spoken to dozens of Mr Woodhouse's investors, and many tell us that they have had to chase him repeatedly for late payments. And we found investors at all 4 care home sites who say they are owed money. In some cases, the repayments are more than a year overdue. Gavin Woodhouse turned down our requests for an interview, so we decided to pay him a visit at the headquarters of Northern Powerhouse Developments near Halifax.
Hello, your call cannot be taken at the moment. To record your message.
Well, we know he's here because his car is parked there in the disabled bay, but there is nobody answering. Mr Woodhouse? Mr Woodhouse left the office still reluctant to answer questions about the millions of pounds he raised that appear to be unaccounted for. Where's investors' money, Mr Woodhouse? Have you spent it? Gavin Woodhouse wouldn't meet us face to face, but we decided to pose as a potential investor.
Gavin, Roger, good to see you.
We travelled to South Wales to talk to him about his latest venture, the Afan Valley Adventure Resort.
Yeah, it's the most exciting project we've ever brought to the market.
We asked him about his track record.
My history is all it's hotels.
He didn't mention his care home schemes, and he made some impressive claims about the partners he's in business with on the Afan Valley project.
We brought them in, Gavin, Jaguar Land Rover.
Go Ape and Jaguar Land Rover, household names. But Jaguar Land Rover told us it's not in any official partnership with Mr Woodhouse and that no commitment has ever been made to the Afan Valley project. Go Ape says it is interested in the project but hasn't agreed terms and nothing has been signed. Neath Port Talbot Council granted Gavin Woodhouse outline planning permission for the Afan Valley Resort in March. Woodhouse had given them assurances that Jaguar Land Rover and Go Ape were legally and contractually engaged, but neither company is, and the council says this now appears to undermine the viability of the scheme.
And Joel is here, of course. Now look, that's quite some story you spent a long time working on. Let's be clear, there are many, many small investors presumably very worried tonight with their money on the line here. What has Mr Woodhouse had to say to you about it?
Well, Tom, he denies strenuously any wrongdoing. He blames contractors for the delays to the construction of all of his care home projects, but insists he's committed to delivering all of the projects. Woodhouse says he has not misled investors and that all of their money is held in separate bank accounts and allocated to individual projects, although he declined, Tom, our invitation to provide proof of how much money is left. Gavin Woodhouse admits he has had cash flow issues, but insists that the care home investors will be paid from the profits from in Northern Powerhouse Developments Group, which includes all of his hotel operations. Now, that group made a loss of £14 million last year, but Woodhouse says that the financial forecast is positive. When it comes to MBI Consulting, Tom, Woodhouse disputes that he owns the company £1.2 million. He is the controlling shareholder of MBI, but says he has not been told why certain transactions were made after he stood down as director of MBI at the end of January 2016. Now, Woodhouse insists he is in a partnership and has agreements with both Jaguar Land Rover and Go Ape. Bear Grylls, of course, is a partner on this project. Neither Bear Grylls or his Survival Academy wish to comment on our story, but there is no suggestion at all that either of them knew about Gavin Woodhouse's background when they agreed the terms of the partnership.